Becky and I have known each other for years now. She's always trying to encourage me to get out and be physically active. One of these days I will finally listen to her. But the Chula Vista Police Foundation has hired Becky as their new executive director, so they're very fortunate to have her. She's an entrepreneur who started her career as the owner of Fitness for Health, where she contracted with 3 top companies in San Diego, Scripps Health, SAIC, and Qualcomm, bringing fitness to the workplace, managing trainers and programs for some of San Diego's leading companies. And she's also been the fitness expert for ABC News for over 11 years, so kudos to you on that. It was Becky's skill in fundraising for local nonprofit boards, combined with her entrepreneurial background that had her new position, that led her to the new position with the Police Foundation. And she's raised money for South Bay Community Services, chaired the National City Chamber of Commerce Golf Tournament, Boys and Girls Club Golf Tournament, and most recently, Chula Vista Chamber of Commerce and YMCA golf fundraiser. She's volunteered for and raised money for I Love a Clean San Diego. She's been married for 15 years to John Moot, and together they have 6 grown sons and 7 grandchildren. Becky and John are avid golfers, love to cook, garden, spend time with family, and entertain with friends. Becky, welcome.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? I unmuted. No? You can't hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you, thank you. Well, thank you very much for having me on today. I understand I'm going to be talking about one of my new favorite subjects. If it's not fitness or family, it's the drone program and the Chula Vista Police Department. So what I'm going to start with is first give you a lay of the land, so to speak. So the Chula Vista Foundation raises money to help the Chula Vista Police in areas where the city doesn't have the funds to provide for certain equipment, tools, training, that sort of thing. So that's where the foundation comes in to help raise money for various things. What a lot of people don't understand about what the Chula Vista Police does, it's not just keeping the community safe, which they do an amazing job, but they also have on their own, with their own initiative, with their own passion and love for the community, they've created within their own departments various services. For instance, one service is called HOT Teams, Homeless Outreach Teams. So Sergeant Ernie Pinetto started this program. And what it is he goes out to areas where there are homeless, which we all know there's many, and there's some that maybe some of you may not be aware of. I mean, we see them on the street, 3rd Avenue and such, and in the park, but there's areas that many people don't know where they are, and that's in the canyons. So he sets up this program where he brings out the county, the nurses, and food and supplies, and with a drone, he's able to deploy the drone, and the drone talks over this area where cars can't get, bicycles can't get, but communicate to the homeless, please come up, we have services to help you. So they come up, and I can send Zanita a video of everything I'm talking about so she can send it off to you, to each one of you. So that's really amazing to show that they do that on their own. They've developed that. And the other thing that they've developed with Lieutenant Martin is feeding the kids after school. And right now it's at lunchtime. So they do that twice a week, and it's various schools in this Chula Vista area. And they just do a lot of, so it's not just taking care of public safety, they really care about the community. But today I would like to talk to you about, let me make sure I said all of those things. Okay. The lunch program. Okay. Yes, I do need glasses when I read. Okay. So now I'd like to share the information in case you're not really familiar with what the drones do. It started 2 years ago, and it's little drones that are deployed off the rooftop from the Chula Vista Police Department and also Bay General, well, the Bay General, the old building. And they're only on the west side, like I said earlier. And what they do, they work in conjunction. So in the police department on the first floor, there's a, we call it control room. It's a pilot room. So it's a huge, huge screens. And on these screens, it shows, it's broken up and it shows various areas within the west side of Chula Vista. And also has a view of the aerial, which is where the planes will fly. So you have all of this and you have 911 that's coming in. So 911, I don't know if you read in the paper or saw the news report about 911 Live, how it's a real game changer for our PD. So they get the information rapid fire and it goes surrounding to the surrounding police officers that are in the area, and they pick it up, and then so they're able to go and they hear from the officers besides the dispatcher, and they can read it on their computer exactly in time that it's being said and recorded to know exactly what's happening. So the pilot that's in the control room is able to deploy that drone, and the pilot is communicating to the officers exactly what's happening. I'll give you an example. For instance, the PD gets a 911 call from a taco shop, and the people are they're scared because there's a man sitting there at the table outside in the patio, and he was waving something that appears to look like a pistol. And so they call, and the drone, this is a magnificent power of the drones. It's 30 times the strength to be able to zoom in so close to something that it can read a license plate, but it's so far away. So the pilot that's in the control room that I told you about earlier is able to convey this information to the PD, the officer that's en route to go to this event. So this is where it's important to understand the power of the drones, 911 Live, how they work together, because if just, I gave you the information that you have something that's already seen what's happening. Let's pretend they just got the 911 call, somebody waving what looks like to be a pistol. Well, that would be a different scenario in the officer's mind of preparing, what do I have to do? But now they're getting all this information where the pilot that's back in the drone room explaining exactly what he's seen. And then when he sees the suspect take that, what looks like to be a pistol, put it to his mouth. Well, the guy doesn't know, oh my gosh, is it really a gun? He's going to shoot himself. He lights a cigarette. So you see how this changes the whole scenario and how it de-escalates crime immediately. So now the officers, they're able to get there. So the drone got there in 84 seconds. Police officers get there in 5 minutes. But the drone was there that entire time and communicating to the officers. So the officers then are calm, they strategize, they decide how they're going to go in and talk to the young man. They arrest him because he was under the influence of narcotics. But you can see it was not aggressive. It was very calm, very peaceful, and handled well. That's the power of using this technology. Currently, we're the only city in the entire United States that use the combination of both drone and 911. That makes our community so safe. So we have it on the west side. It's been a huge success. Our chief, our captains have been going outward. Captain Sally and the chief have been going around, being called to speak at different conferences. And Captain Sally just came back later last month on a really amazing presentation in DC. And we have Norway that's come in and to study it. We've had the president of Brazil. So we have leadership coming from all over the world learning about this amazing technology that we have in place. And it's really incredible to think that little Chula Vista, less than 300,000 people, are the trendsetters. We are changing how things are done in so many ways. And community safety is a huge one, especially right now. So let me share also what we're doing. I know I talked with my hands too much. I try to keep them down, but they don't stay there. Anyway, so right now, because we want to cover the east side of Chula Vista, we're doing a golf tournament to help raise money. And if anybody's interested, I can give that information to Zanita and she can share that with you. I know we're not supposed to sell or anything like that, but I just want to let you know. And for those of you like myself that live on the east side wondering, well, where's the love out here? Well, it takes money. It takes a lot of money. So it's going to take $300,000. I know I won't raise it in one fell swoop, but I've got my work cut out and I'm very excited about, you know, what's in store for the PD and what we're doing to help our city. So I hope I didn't go over. I didn't put my watch down to look. So if I went over or you have questions, you know, I'm ready to stop.
No, thank you, Becky. I know that the drone program partners really closely with Southwestern College too in our drone program. So it's been a wonderful partnership in terms of building the workforce for the drone workforce, which is a really well-paying job. So thank you, Becky. Does anyone have any questions for Becky? Jan?
Yes. So Becky, good presentation. Thank you. Just curious, in the dream world, what would your vision be for the drone program to cover all of Chula Vista?
I'm not sure what you mean by my dream world. Like how much does it cost? How many drones is it? How many people does it employ? Like,
let's say how many drones would you see being needed to cover Chula Vista?
Well, we would need a minimum of 4. Each drone with all of the accessories is roughly $80,000. So the drone itself is, you know, is not very expensive. It's $35,000, but you have to have the camera, you know, there's a lot of different things, batteries and all these different things. So that's why the ticket item for what I'm trying to do is $300,000, but it's over time. And I know right now our drones, we have 2 drones on the west side, they're working 24/7. So I might need to start working on getting those replaced before we go to the east side.
Chuck, you have a question?
Yes, I had a question and a statement. I read an article in the paper that the city of Chula Vista drone program was also the first to receive FAA approval to operate their drones out of line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a pretty big deal for the west side. My question then is, the drones and the cameras operate well at night?
Yes, they do. That's a great question. And also I forgot to mention, because I get this asked a lot, so I just need to clarify. Drones do not spend their time going around the city. They're only deployed on 911 calls. So say for instance, Zanita says, well, I want a drone to come out here, or maybe the PD is thinking, oh, I better go check something out. They're not allowed to do that. They only go out on a call, a 911 call. They just don't go gallivanting around looking for trouble, okay?
Question.
Dwayne, it looks like Dwayne has a question.
I do. Do they think they'll ever arm these with something, if not a gun type thing, a laser, a taser, something that they could use immediately if there's a life-threatening situation?
I love that question. It sounds so Star Wars. It sounds so fun. But to tell you the truth, I don't even know that that's on the horizon. And that's the first question. Very unique. I can go back to Captain Sally and ask him. That's very Star Wars-ish, don't you think? Mm-hmm. That's pretty. We're Star Wars now, totally. But no, I haven't heard that. I just know that having it now that the drones can speak to you is a big deal, and having the night vision, and you know. So I haven't heard that.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Becky. Anyone else? Jesse.
Yes, Becky, you just mentioned speaking to you. You in that situation where the drone communicates with the police officer, Is that through a mechanized voice, or does it go to dispatcher and the dispatcher translates it? How do they communicate with the officer?
Okay, there's two ways. Okay, the first way that I explained was the hot teams where Sergeant Ernie Panetto takes the drones, deploys it over, like, say, for instance, the canyons. I don't know where he calls it. There's a reference called the jungle. And anyway, there's an area in Chula Vista where you can't get into. So the drone will speak. Okay. Now, when it's going for, that's only reactive.
Right.
When it's going for 911 call, it does not speak. The pilot is communicating to the officers.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Got you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bob, you had a question.
Yeah, Becky, great presentation. Regarding the restrictions with 911 calls, what about situations where police are engaged? It wasn't a 911 situation, but it is, you know, let's say they come across a criminal activity in a warehouse. Would the drones be used at that point to serve as backup, to kind of take a look at, you know, covering the officers' flanks or whatever?
Okay, they could, okay, I can't, if it's on the west side, they could probably have that sort of backup. So right now our drones are only on the west side of Chula Vista. I don't want to answer a question that I'm not positive with the answer. So I just have to wait and get back to you, and I'll give the information to Zanita and she can send that to everybody. So I'm going to write a note. If a drone can go after officer has been deployed, after officer is on a call, correct?
Yeah, can they be used to support you know, an officer in a suspected criminal activity that may not have come through a 911 notification?
Okay, I'll get back to you guys on that. But right now, all I know is that they're only deployed on a 911 or else on a reactive event, which would be reactive is going, setting up camp, helping somebody. That's reactive. Okay.
Thank you, Becky. Okay, Mauricio, last question.
So how do civilians know when it is a police drone and when it's your nosy neighbor drone?
Okay, well, that's a good question. The police drone is black.
Okay.
And it's marked, and it doesn't go flying around to your neighborhood. It's only going on a call.
Yeah, no, like say a call did get made, you know,
Okay.
So how does one know that that's the police drone and it's not my neighbor's kid flying his drone? Like, does it have look like a siren, like something that, like a police, like the police lights?
No, no, it's quiet as a mouse, except like a hummingbird or a bee. It sounds more like a bee. It just is black and it has a little logo. So, I guess you could say it's pretty nondescript, but it's not very common to see this color and to see this type of drone. It's not common.
Okay.
And I know, Becky, you said you would send me a link to a video, so that will give the opportunity.
I have, lots of videos to share with you guys.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Becky. I do want to respect everybody's time, but I do want to point out that I see Mike Green has joined us. Chris Lewis has joined us since we started, and I'm hoping I haven't missed anybody else, but want to just recognize that you are here with us, and we are so glad you are. And my closing thought of the day is a quote by Cornel West: "A rich life consists fundamentally of serving others and trying to leave the world a little better than you found it." And with that quote, we are adjourned.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you.